Go get them, President Trump. Reduce that spending. We're behind you 1,000%. Well, he has. He has. 0.1% he's asking us to reduce. And I'm not saying senators shouldn't ask questions and make some changes if they need to be made, but here's the bottom line. It is gut check time. It is gut check time. You either believe in reducing spending or you don't. And if you talk the game and say, let's reduce spending, and you vote against this bill, in my opinion, you ought to hide your head in a bag. Because you will be able to cut the hypocrisy with a knife. It's real hard, Mr. President, to preach temperance from a bar stool.
What if I told you your hard-earned tax dollars were being spent on pastry classes in Haiti, insect powder in Madagascar, and Sesame Street in Iraq? Sounds crazy, right? Well, Senator John Kennedy just lit up the Senate floor with a fiery speech that left jaws on the ground. He didn't hold back. He called it spending porn, and trust me, by the end of his list, you'll understand exactly why. While foreign aid has its place, Kennedy's point is clear. This isn't what the American people signed up for.
And so President Trump and this Congress made one of its objectives trying to reduce spending. Not spending that we need to reduce, but spending that needs to be reduced. I call it spending porn. And the president has sent us a bill. He's saying to Congress, I want you to reduce spending in the current budget by $9.1 billion. And let me tell you what the spending, what constitutes the spending I want to reduce. Well, first, $9.1 billion out of a $7 trillion budget. We're not talking about a lot of money here. We're talking about 0.1%. That's all. That's point one. Point two, you need to look at what the president's asking us to cut out. I'll just give you a couple of examples. I didn't make this up. The president is saying we're giving $3 million to Iraq to produce Sesame Street. Maybe we could use that money for something else. The president is saying we're giving $3 million to Zambia for circumcisions and vasectomies. The president's saying we don't need to do that. We've got other priorities. We're giving $500,000 to Rwanda to buy electric buses. The president is saying to us, Congress, we don't need to be spending the money on that. There are more important things. We're spending $67,000 to give insect powder to kids in Madagascar. I don't even know what insect powder is, but the president's asking us to cut it out. We're giving $3,600,000 to Haiti for pastry cooking classes, for cyber cafes, for dance focus groups, for male prostitutes. The president's saying, I don't think so. I don't think that the American people support giving their hard-earned money to male prostitutes in Haiti. So he's asking us to cut it out. He's asking us to reduce the budget by $833,000 because some of President Biden's bureaucrats gave a contract to transgender people, sex workers, and their clients in Nepal. The president's saying, I don't want to do that. And he's right. That's enough. You get the idea. That's why I call it spending porn. Triggers your gag reflex. You look at this stuff and you go, what in God's name? Who decided to do this? Well, Congress didn't. The bureaucrats did. It's money we appropriated, but we didn't tell them to go spend money, $833,000, and give to sex workers in Nepal. They just took the money we appropriated and used it for that. And so the president is asking us to do what's called a rescission, to cancel the spending. Now, I have listened. I've been here 8 years, Mr. President, and I've listened to a whole bunch of people talk about the need to reduce spending. But you got to watch what people do, not what they say, because talk is cheap. And around here, I've learned pretty quickly that reducing spending, it's like going to heaven. I want to go to heaven. I bet you want to go to heaven, Mr. President. I bet our guests in the gallery want to go to heaven. But everybody wants to go to heaven. Raise your hand if you're ready to take the trip today. Most people, you are, sir, and I admire that, but most people want to live a little longer. And that's the way it is with reducing spending around here. I want to reduce spending. I support it, but not just yet, because I've got this project. Well, and I've listened to that. And I've especially listened to it for the past 100 days. Go get them, President Trump. Reduce that spending. We're behind you 1,000%. Well, he has. He has. 0.1% he's asking us to reduce. And I'm not saying senators shouldn't ask questions and make some changes if they need to be made, but here's the bottom line. It is gut check time. It is gut check time. You either believe in reducing spending or you don't. And if you talk the game and say, let's reduce spending, and you vote against this bill, in my opinion, you ought to hide your head in a bag. Because you will be able to cut the hypocrisy with a knife. It's real, real hard, Mr. President, to preach temperance from a bar stool.
Check this out. $3 million for Sesame Street in Iraq. $3 million for vasectomies and circumcisions in Zambia. $500,000 for electric buses in Rwanda. $67,000 for insect powder for kids in Madagascar. $3.6 million for cooking classes, cyber cafes, and male prostitutes in Haiti. $833,000 for programs supporting sex workers and transgender individuals in Nepal. You heard that right. And while foreign aid has its place, Kennedy's point is clear. This isn't what the American people signed up for. Kennedy says Congress didn't even directly approve these specific expenses. The money was appropriated, sure, but the details left to unelected bureaucrats. He calls it a misuse of taxpayer trust, plain and simple. And that's why he's calling for rescission, a formal cancellation of these specific funds. This isn't about politics, it's about common sense. Kennedy looked around the Senate chamber and basically said, you talk a big game about cutting spending, but now it's time to prove it. He called it gut check time, challenging every lawmaker to back up their words with action. He even dropped this unforgettable line. It's real hard to preach temperance from a bar stool. That one hit hard. Now, if you're tired of empty promises and real hypocrisy, this is the kind of accountability we need more of. If you're nodding along right now, take a second, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I break down the real stories behind the headlines, and you won't want to miss what's coming next.